In this video, we will go over the basics of planning using an Erin Condren LifePlanner. Hi, I'm Kristen, and I love how functional planning helps me simplify my life. If you need a gentle reminder to just keep it simple, please make sure you're subscribed, and I'll be right back. So like I said, I want to go over the basics of planning using an Erin Condren LifePlanner. I have here a 7x9 life planner in the compact vertical layout with the colorful design, and then I also have a 7x9 life planner in the hourly layout with the canvas more neutral design. We're not actually going to be planning anything today, but I did just want to go over what is included inside these planners and just talk about some of the ways that you can use those pages. These planners do have a pretty hefty investment even with discounts, and it can be very overwhelming and intimidating when you first get it and you're just kind of at a loss of how to start. And sometimes it can even be scary to start writing in it because you're worried about messing up something that, one is just super pretty and two is not cheap. So you just, I guess my intention with this video is to just kind of help you get comfortable with the planner and see how you can use it and hopefully make it work for you and your planning needs. So first of all, let's talk about what Erin Condren is known for. They are known for their quality paper and this coil here, and this 7x9 size of the planner. So they are all made in the United States, actually in Austin, Texas, which I've actually visited their factory and it's really cool. The paper is kind of unlike most paper you're going to find in any other boutique or luxury planners on the market, and that's just because it's like super good quality. It's bright white, it's 80-pound paper, it's thick without being too thick, and it's just so nice. It's got a slight bit of texture to it. It's not bumpy or like ridgy or anything like that. One of the other things that Erin Condren is known for is having interchangeable covers. These covers are thick laminated covers and they have little slits where the coil goes, and that enables you to take it off easily and pop it back on pretty easily. If you haven't done it before, it can be kind of tricky to get used to, but what I like to do is when you have your cover completely off is you take the two ends and you just pop on at the ends like that, and then you go like that and it'll just pop right back on. But you can do it little by little, one at a time if you're more comfortable with that, but I find that this way works really well. So both the front and the back cover are removable and you can switch them out and collect all your favorites and then use them year after year. And it's just a fun way to keep using your favorite designs. Some of the covers are metallic like this one, and you can get your name or whatever else will fit in the space that they provide whenever you're building your planner. Some people like to do a quote or scripture, or just if they're using their planner for something specific, like say for budgeting, they might title it that way. Really, the opportunities are endless there. My cover here, this is a metallic cover, and the metallic covers usually run about $5 more than the regular covers, and this is a regular cover. I typically do not get my covers personalized because I just like them better that way, and then that way if I ever wanted to gift them to somebody or sell them on the marketplace or something like that, then they are more versatile for other people to use. I also have a Cricut, and I find it easy to just kind of quickly make a little vinyl or something if I really wanted to personalize it after the fact. Before we keep going too much into the covers, one of the other things that Erin Condren is known for, and one of the things I love about Erin Condren, are the fun colors and designs. Every year they come out with a different, like, colorful design. Lately they've been doing a different floral design, and then also in the past couple of years they've had a neutral design. And so the neutral design is exactly it. Like, there's no there's no decoration on the pages other than just this little asterisk detail that you can find in the canvas design. And there are no colors, and it's just how, if you don't like a lot of color, or if you prefer to add your own color with stickers and washi tape and markers and highlighters and such, the canvas design is exactly what it sounds like. It's a blank canvas for you to do whatever you want with. And the colorful design uses the Erin Condren signature monthly colorway. And so every January tab is always going to be this color, every February is going to be this color, March, and so on and so forth. So every year these colors will stay the same. And for someone who, like me, who's been using the Erin Condren planners for such a long time, these colors have now just kind of become synonymous with those months for me. And so what I really love is how every year Erin Condren comes out with a fun design and pairs it with those colors. And so year after year, all of my accessories blend together and work together, and all of the pens and markers and stickers that I've collected over the years, I can continue to use them year after year because they will always match. The next thing I want to talk about when getting to know Erin Condren planners is the layouts. So their most popular flagship planner is going to be the weekly life planner in the vertical layout. Now, the vertical layout is the 3 boxes that if you've seen Erin Condren planners before, I feel like the vertical colorful weekly life planner layout is like, that's the planner that you're going to imagine. If you've seen only one life planner, that's probably the one you've seen. They also come in very many other styles. This one, for example, is the compact vertical layout, which has boxes like this. And then this one is the hourly layout, which is another vertical style, but it has lines and numbers. There's also a standard horizontal layout that you're probably familiar with, because many planners on the market, including those that you might get at like your grocery store or big box store, usually always use that horizontal layout. Erin Condren also offers a daily life planner, and that is known as the Daily Duo. I used to use this one all the time. It comes in 2 books when you order it because there's so many pages. They cannot fit them all on one coil. Okay, so now let's move on to talking about the planner, like what's inside the planner. We did start talking about the covers a little bit. I mentioned how it's free personalization. You can get your metallic upgrade. And I didn't mention that on the inside of the covers, these are functional. So because they're laminated, you can use a wet erase marker or a dry erase marker, but that one might wipe off. If you use a wet erase marker or even a permanent marker that you can wipe off with some alcohol, you can use these. So we've got some different boxes here. You can maybe start a shopping list here, add some notes about what's going on, anything like that. And then once you're done with it, you can just wipe it off. I do like that there's like a little thing here that you could, maybe write out the month. Maybe you keep track of your finances for the month on here, or the spending that you're doing, or, if this was your shopping list, you could also write like, maybe your income here, and then some spending information here. And that might be a fun way to use this as, just a functional dashboard. Now, I did mention that a dry erase would wipe off. And so what we have here is a pretty Vellum page. And if you're using this functionally to write on, you just want to keep in mind that it might like wipe off onto here, and it might leave some markings on your vellum. I've had that happen to me in the past. It's honestly not that big of a deal, but if you're a type of person that really wants to keep everything you own in like super pristine condition, that is something that you might want to consider maybe not writing on this and maybe just using it as a sticky note dashboard. The back cover has the same functionality, but this one is just basically a place for some notes. It's just a lined section. One more thing about the covers is that they are also available in a vegan leather, which is like, it's a fake leather. You can get it already coiled on. They also offer some new interchangeable vegan leather covers that have the same functionality as the laminated ones here, except they're just made out out of the vegan leather. Of course, you're not going to get that function of being able to write on them on the inside because they are not, they're not laminated. Okay, so then let's move on to the next major thing here, and that is our coil. So the Erin Condren planners come with this platinum coil standard. There are coil color options that you can upgrade to if you wish. It's a $10 upgrade, but you could get a gold coil or a rose gold coil, and this year they have something called the sunrise coil. It's like a pink to orange to yellow ombre, but the platinum coil here is the standard. This is what's included in your planner price. We started talking about the Vellum here, and this is another feature of the life planners. You're not going to find these in the Vellum sheet inside like your monthly planner, because that is not a life planner. So the weekly and the daily are the life planners, and they come with certain little extras and perks because they're called a life planner, and they include the Vellum. So the canvas and the bold blooms for this year, the floral version, are gonna have this, it's just an asterisk detail, and then the colorful version, which is called Evolve this year, which was it's artwork by Jessie Raleigh from Etta V, and this is how that looks. You've got just this pretty vellum with the design here that mimics, the artwork, the swirly pretty artwork on the front. And so that is something that's only going to come in your life planners. I know some people kind of get confused when they get their monthly planner and it doesn't have a vellum, but they don't come with that because they're not life planners. Okay, so now let's get into the nitty-gritty of actually what you're going to be able to write on and use inside your planner. I like to call this stuff the front matter, because this is all the stuff that happens before your monthly spreads start. So when I refer to front matter, I'm talking about these pages at the beginning that are functional for you to use, but they are not the planning pages once you get into the monthly and the weekly sections. You're going to have your name page, and in the colorful planners it looks like this. In the canvas planners it looks like this because it's not colorful. It just has the Erin Condren logo, it says life planner, and then the name of the layout you chose, and it says this is my life, and you have 2 lines here to write your name, your phone number, contact information, whatever you want to write there. And then the cute little Erin Condren styled American flag. And it says, proud to say, made in the USA. So this page can be daunting for some people because they don't want to mess it up. It's the very first page. Even though you probably have written your name so many times in your life, it feels like you just forget how to write your name. And what if it's not going to look right? So a lot of people get kind of nervous about just breaking out that pen and doing it. Some other things you can do is, like I mentioned before, using a Cricut to customize your planner cover. I have used a Cricut to put a vinyl with my name on it, and just because it's basically perfect. It's already done. You just pick out your favorite font and a really cute vinyl. I've used an ombre, metallic, any kind of vinyl that you like and that speaks to you. You can just have your name cut out, order one on Etsy, and slap it in there. Also, Planner Kate will make custom name stickers, and that's actually what I have chosen to do this year. Is I ordered this custom sheet of my name in the font that I chose, and you can get these made on regular sticker paper, you can get them made on transparent sticker paper, and I think you can get them made on a weatherproof kind of sticker paper that maybe you want to put some names on, your water bottle or something. I just chose the regular removable matte sticker paper, just knowing that I will probably make a mistake, and then I would be able to just, pull it off and move it without tearing up the paper. So these are available from Planner Kate. I will link them in the description, and if you're interested in them, be on the lookout down there for my coupon code so you can save an extra 20% on those. You don't have to stop there with your name. I've seen people that have some really great art skills draw on this. I've seen people glue down photos of their family and their pets and other important things in their lives. And really you could get super creative here and just kind of use it how you want. I like to keep it simple. I'm just gonna put my name there and move on. So these 2 pages at the front, this is what, I don't really know if there's an official name to this, but the first 2 pages are always like a big format, large format of whatever the design is that you chose. And I just think it's gorgeous. It's like so pretty. It's basically like having a huge art print, you know, and you can just do whatever you want with this. I have used these in the past as like a sticky note dashboard, just, you know, a place to keep sticky notes. Most of the time I've left them plain. This year I am considering adding photos in each month, maybe just kind of posting my favorite photo from the month in here. I'm not sure yet, but you can use these functionally as well, or just leave them pretty and plain. So here on this page you have the tab, and this says 2024 to 2025, and this is where you're going to have your year at a glance. And this is basically just 2 pages of 18 months of forward planning. Now, my planner starts in July of 2024, and so it lines up here with the July of 2024 all the way through the end of December of 2025, because I have an 18-month planner. Something I forgot to mention earlier is that when you're building your planner on the Erin Condren website, you can have it made in 12 months only, or you can spend $5 extra to have an 18-month planner, which is what this one is. This one has 18 months worth of planning in it, and you can have it start in July or January. So it's really just whatever you choose, and all of the options that are available will be in there whenever you're building your planner. So let's go back to the year at a glance here. And so this is really great to mark travel, paydays, your school schedule or work schedule, your kids' school schedule. You can use different things to mark the dates in here. We've got some things that are like transparent circles here that you can get from Planner Kate. Now, the 2 sizes available from Planner Kate, this is size A and this is size B. The A size is larger. They will both fit, but the A size fits a little bit better. When I set up this planner, I will go over the options in more detail. So if you're watching this video the day it goes live, that video is not up yet, but hopefully I'll remember to link it. If you're watching this video later and I haven't linked that video here or in the comments or description, go ahead and leave me a comment and let me know, and I will direct you to where that video is. You can also use washi tape, highlighters, or just your pen to mark whatever you need to mark. There's some blank spaces at the top and the bottom. I like to use those spaces to indicate, like to make a key to indicate what I'm talking about in each thing. So this goes for this whole 18 months. And like I said, it starts over here with July of 2024. If you purchase a planner that starts in January of 2025, this July of 2024 is still going to be here. They're not going to change it. This was something that confused me a long time ago when I first was using Erin Condren planners. Is I had a planner that started in January, but they had still included the July of 2020 whatever year it was, and it was like in the past, and I was confused about that, and I did ask customer service, and they were like, no, that's just how we do it. If you do have a planner like that, this space right here you can use functionally by just kind of covering it up with sticker paper. I have in the past used that space by putting a sticker over it that was like a yearly checklist sticker, and it covered up those months that I didn't need anymore and still made that functional for the rest of the year. One of the other things, I'm going to flip back here, even though we're talking about the stuff in the front, but I want to show you the forward planning because you do have the July 2024 through December 2025, and in the back you have more forward planning for the whole year of 2026 or whatever year you're in. This is going to be the following year after your planner ends, and that is to help you just kind of jot down things that get planned very far in advance. Okay, so after the year at a glance, you're gonna have these 12 boxes, and I feel like these are some of the most confusing pages for some people. So this is what a lot of people will call the 12 boxes, because like there are 12 lined boxes. It says a little progress each day adds up to big results. In the past, it used to say a goal is a dream with a deadline or something like that. And I think it was intended to use these pages to write your annual goals. So you would use one box for each month, that's why there are 12, and you would write in a goal for the month. And then that is what you would then use, you would follow up with every month when you're planning your month. You would come back to these pages, and you would look at your schedule to see, is there anything here that I need to write down on my monthly calendar? And then you would go to these pages and look at the goal that you had already decided you wanted to work on that month. And then you would add that, anything that any dates for that goal or any tasks that needed to be completed by a certain date, you could write that into your calendar. And then you could transfer your goals into your dashboard here. We'll talk about this a little more when we get to that section, but that's just one of the ways that you can use these pages. And it's actually something I am trying to get back into doing, is really utilizing the year at a glance to, forward plan my important dates so that I can see them all laid out at once, and then include my goals, or just really, it doesn't have to be goals. You could do house projects or health appointments or anything like that that you might need to keep track of and divvy up on a monthly basis. You would just come back to these pages when you're planning your month, and this is just your reminder. So let's see, you could title each box the month that you want it to go with, and then you can add some forward planning on those. You could write in your appointments, your dentist appointment, doctor's appointments, well woman, well child, eye doctor appointments, vet appointments, shots, all of that kind of stuff. That could be where you write it. And then as you're making those appointments, you can just kind of fill in the next box or whatever. You could use this for budgeting. It's not a whole lot of space for budgeting, but maybe if you just want to keep track of some savings goals, or like one specific thing, maybe you're paying down some debt or student loan, or you're saving for a down payment for a house or something like that. Maybe each box would be a month that you could write down, like how much you deposited or how much you paid off, or whatever budgeting thing that you want to break out and keep track of separately, but all in one overview. The same with like your social media stats. Maybe you have a small business, or you're a content creator and you want to keep track of some social media things, like maybe your follower count or your subscriber count or anything like that. You can keep track of that here. I mentioned goals already. This would be like a really cool spot for maybe some health and wellness goals. Maybe you're on a weight loss journey, or maybe you're training for a marathon or something. Maybe each month you want to break out your training for that event, or maybe you want to take your measurements or your stats or other health related stats. You can write those in each month here just to see it all in one nice overview. So these pages are super versatile. There's not one single way to use them, and I think that that's why Erin Condren has kind of changed it up a little to make it a little more versatile and neutral, I guess you could say, so that you can use these however you want. Sometimes people will also use them as like a currently, like what are you reading this month, maybe each box, like if this is the January box, you can just write out all of the books you read that month, or maybe just your favorite things you were listening to, like your favorite book you read, your favorite music you were listening to, favorite movie or TV show, that kind of stuff. I know a lot of people like to track. This is like a really great place for that, because it's all going to show up. At the end of the year, it's all going to be filled in with all of like your memories or whatever. You could put like something that you are grateful for that month. You could put like a small photo and maybe a little bit of journaling for that month. If you have maybe a baby and you want to take a picture of your baby each month, I don't know, there's so many ways to use these. Then when we turn the page, we're going to get to this notes page and the tab for the month. What I'm going to do actually is I'm going to flip to like January, because I'm already kind of laying out some sticky notes on how I want to set my planner up, and I'm going to do that video later, so I didn't really want that like in the way. But let's flip here. So right after you get to the 12 boxes, that's when the front matter ends, and we're going to get to our monthly spreads. Here we have the line notes page and then the tab page, which is like an art page similar to those two that we saw at the front. And then you have your tab here that says the month on it. And then when you turn the page, you have your monthly spread. So it's always going to have the month and the year over here, and then you have your Sunday start calendar, and then you have a notes sidebar over here. You have your dates in the top right corner. They print on some of the important days and holidays, and the days that belong in the previous and the next month are just faintly gray. So they're just barely visible, but they are still visible. Then the next page, you're gonna have what is called the monthly dashboard. In the past, this page has been on this side, and then the notes page was on this side. This year was the first year that they're doing it over here, and I personally like it better that way, but it's right directly after the month. Now the dashboard page has these 4 boxes, and you've got a blank, well first it says the month and the year, and then you've got a little bit of design, and then it's got a blank box. You've got a box here with a space for a header and then 4 bullet points, and then you've got a box here with lines and a space for a header. And then you have this little dot grid section. And so this is like super versatile. You can use it however you want. And I started to mention before that if you have your goals or whatever set up in here on your 12 boxes, then these pages are a nice way to kind of break that out. So at the beginning of the year, when you're brainstorming how you want your year to go, if you're using these as goal pages, for example, you write your goal in for that month. Then you come to that monthly dashboard page and you transfer that information here and maybe get a little more detailed with it. You can break out specific steps. You can make a specific note about whatever that goal is. If there's some data you need to, look up or record or whatever. Maybe there's a phone number, say it's a goal to like get your house, something in your house renovated. Maybe you're writing down like contractor information or something. But what's really nice is that this is it's like a placeholder for that stuff so that you can find it again whenever you need it. And I like to use my dashboard to have a spot to always keep track of my son's school things. So I always leave one of my boxes on my dashboard for that. A lot of people will write in any kind of birthdays or anniversaries on here. The dot grid section is really neat because you kind of use it as a graph if you want to track your sleep or your steps or your water intake or any kind of thing you might be tracking. The dot grid kind of helps you draw out that little tracking mechanism however you want. If we go back to the monthly spread, this is where you're going to put all of your appointments and your events. You're going to mark, when there's a school holiday, when your day off is from work, your paydays, any kind of appointments you already have scheduled. What's great is that you have your cheat sheet here from your year at a glance. Whatever you marked that you knew was going on, you can just kind of find the month, the corresponding month, and look and see, and then you can come in here and write it in more detail. Maybe if it's an appointment, you put the time down. all kinds of stuff like that. You can block off a week if it's a vacation week, if there's travel. You can put your paydays in and just kind of fill out your month so that you can see what's going on. And then that's going to help you with your plans each week as well. You're going to be prepared when the following week is coming up, because you can look and see what's going on. And if it's a super busy week, if you have a lot of appointments and things, then you know you're not going to get a lot of extra things done off of your task list that week, and you're going to give yourself grace because you can see it ahead of time that you were busy that week. One of the other things that I am trying to be way better about is using the perpetual calendar. Now, this is some of the back matter that we haven't really gone over yet, but all of the life planners come with this perpetual calendar booklet, and every page is a month with all of the dates printed, and you would just write in birthdays and anniversaries and important dates that are on the same date every year, and then that way you don't have to keep rewriting it, but this can travel from planner to planner with you. And so one of the other things that's important whenever you're setting up your planner when you first get it, or maybe if you prefer to wait and do it by the month, you would grab your perpetual calendar out of the back, look at the month that you're in, and then you can add those to your calendar as well. That's something that I'm very bad at doing, and I never use these, and I kind of want to make it a goal for the upcoming year to actually use that perpetual calendar how it's intended to be used. So, you know, you want to grab that, you want to look at your year at a glance, you want to look at your previous month, anything that needs to get migrated over. You want to go ahead and fill out your monthly calendar with all of those things. The sidebar is a great spot to add any tasks that you need to remember to do that maybe isn't necessarily tied to a specific date, but you know that sometime in January you need to get your car inspected, or you need to get an oil change, or you need to make sure that you renew something or cancel that subscription. All of that can kind of go over here on the notes sidebar. And then when you're making your plans each week, you're gonna have like your master task list for the month over here, and you're gonna see it, and you're gonna remember to add those things to your to-do list each week. We haven't talked about the notes pages in the back of the planner yet, which again, we'll get to those in more detail whenever we go over the back matter, but you know, you might wanna check certain notes pages back there that you may have used to plan out projects or something, and then you would want to add your tasks to the sidebar here. Another thing people like to do with the sidebar is to break it up for each week and track things. I don't do it that way, but I've seen other people do it, and I think it's a really cool idea where, you know, you kind of have some space here, and you can give yourself 5 lines of note space for each individual week, that maybe there's things that you just want to check off each week. You can kind of list it over and over again if you wanted to do it that way. But the lines do line up there. So we already talked about the dashboard, but then there's also this nice notes page here that's really exactly what it sounds like. You can use it however you want. You can leave it blank so that you have a spot to catch up any notes when you make a phone call or get an important email, and there's action items that you need to write down and make sure. You could use it, say you have a meeting that happens every month, maybe you're in a book club, or you do a monthly like PTO meeting or something. You can kind of save this notes page for that. The same with this notes page. Remember, every month you're gonna have the page facing the tab, and you can use that however you want. You can brainstorm what you want the month to look like going forward. You can do menu planning there. You can use it to figure out like any of your social media for your business. You could make a list of all the books you're reading. There's so many versatile ways to use it. But what's cool is that every month is going to have one there, and every month is going to have one here. So then whenever we turn the page, you're going to get into that weekly layout. Now, here's where I'm going to go ahead and switch to my hourly format here. On the compact vertical, you're going to have each day of the week with your important dates and holidays printed. And then, you know, so you have your 7 days, and then you have a note space over here. and a mini calendar. Now in the hourly and the vertical life planners, you're going to have a sidebar over here on the left. I like to use my sidebar as a to-do list, again, much like the sidebar in the month. On your 2-page weekly layout, you're going to transfer all of your appointments from the month to the weeks. So let's say we're planning out this week, and that Monday, we have a Monday start on the weekly spread. And so Monday the 6th through Sunday the 12th is this week here. So when we get to this week in our planner, we're going to go here and see what's going on. We're going to transfer that information here, and then you have more room to spread out. Since this is an hourly, and say I had an appointment on the 6th, maybe we have an orthodontist appointment at 9 a.m. on the 6th. I can find the 9 a.m. slot here and just write orthodontist. Then maybe I look over here and I see, oh, we need to get the car inspected, and I can write that here. Essentially, what you're doing is you're setting up the bigger picture, then you're dialing it down into the month, and then each week you're checking back that bigger picture of the month, and you're dialing that down and transferring that information to the week. And as you get into those smaller increments of time, you're able to add more detail and break out tasks and things to just really help you check those things off of your list, stay on time to certain appointments and stuff like that. And so one of the ways that I recommend planning is you're checking your month, you're putting the information in, you're then going to go to the following or the previous week, and you're going to look and see what tasks didn't get done that still need to get done. You're going to transfer them to your to-do list. You're going to go and look on your weeks, and maybe something got rescheduled and you wrote it in. You need to make sure that you're transferring all of that information. So reviewing the week before is just as important as checking that month. And whenever you had set up your month, you have reviewed your year at a glance. So that way nothing is falling through the cracks, and you're just able to stay organized that way. So then you get through all of the months in your planner, and at the end, you're going to have, there's your last week. At the end, we have that notes page. This is how Erin Condren includes 10 notes pages in the back of every life planner. Now, it's 5 sheets, so this is a whole sheet, but you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then this is an add-on. We'll get to that in a minute. But there's your 10th notes page. This is added in. If this was not added in, then that notes page would just be facing this one. So that you have your 10 pages. It's 5 sheets, front and back, for 10 total pages, and it does have a tab that says notes. Now, a lot of people always wonder what to use these for. You can just use them for notes. You literally just flip to this section when you need to jot some things down or write some thoughts down or plan out a project or something, just like you would use a notepad or scratch pad for, but some people like to use them very intentionally. And so this is a good spot to kind of think about what are the things that you might want to track throughout the year and kind of give them their own special page. I have used these to track the Formula One calendar because I'm a huge fan of Formula One. A lot of people will use them for reading logs, workout stuff. You can track your health stats, budgeting type things, and really, it's just extra space to do whatever you want with. My recommendation for using these is if it's a page that's important that you're going to flip back to every month or even every week whenever you're planning in your planner, is to add a specific tab to that page so you know where to find it, because it can be tedious to flip through here and try to figure out where that one page was if you're always going to it over and over and over again. One of the other new things Erin Condren introduced in 2024 for the 2025 planners are add-ons. There are currently 4 choices and it's 40 pages. So it's 20 sheets front and back for 40 total pages. You can add more of these line notes pages if you think you'll need more. You can add a special dashboard style page. And then there's this one, which is called the weekly tracker. And then there's a special goal tracker. So these are optional. It's a $10 upgrade to add it on. And it's just a neat little concept here. This one is the weekly tracker. That's my favorite one. And it's just Monday through Sunday here, and then a checklist on the right, and then this blank space that says week of, and it's gonna look like that on both sides. And so you could use this for all kinds of things. You can use it for menu planning. Another kind of fun way to use this might be like as a little mini planner for your children. If you track your children's schedules in your planner, because there's only 40 weeks, and of course a whole year is 52 weeks, there are not enough to use this to have something different for every week. However, if your kids are on like the traditional public school calendar, 40 weeks is plenty for just using to kind of track their schedule. And you know, you can put whatever their practices or their testing or anything like that, tryouts, auditions, shows, recitals, that kind of thing. You can track that, and like their birthday parties that they're invited to, and then you have your checklist over here for anything that you may need to keep up with for them, like their spelling words and homework, and whether or not you need to buy some kind of supplies or a gift, or maybe, you know, anything like that. Then we get into the rest of the back matter and all of the planners. On the back of that notes page, with the included 10 line notes pages, on the back, you're gonna have your heritage and awareness observances. And these are just some extra holidays and important days that they didn't print on the monthly calendar. So there are some, but then there's some other ones here that may be of interest to you. And if so, you can go ahead and add those in where you need to in here. Then this page is like a contact page, and it says, let's keep in touch. Let's switch back to the colorful one just because it's more fun. I like the colorful one way better. I got the same add-on in this one. This page is the same, but this one has just a little bit of color on the dots here. In the canvas, those dots are just gray. So it's just a space for 18 contacts. It says name, and then there's 2 dots so that you can add whatever way you need to contact that person, whether it be their email or maybe their social media handle, or you know, their phone number or something. There's plenty of room here, and it's super versatile to use however you need to use it. Another way to use this, if you don't need to use this as contacts, because let's face it, we're using our phones usually for stuff like that, and we're not usually accessing a contacts list like this anymore. A lot of people will use this for like different coupon codes. So if you want to write, you know, my coupon code for Planner Kate, where you can get 20% off, is KK20. So you could write that in there. And then that way, anytime you're making a purchase, you can flip back and see if, you know, there's a coupon code available for that shop, that maybe you were watching YouTube and saw somebody's coupon code and you wanted to keep track of that to use. So that's a really good spot for something like that. But like I said, there's 18 spaces here. So you could even use this, completely cover this up with some like stickers or washi tape, and you could just use this as another kind of tracker. If you can white out or use a sticker to cover up name, and you have basically 18 boxes with 3 lines each to keep track of something like your social media stats, or maybe your measurements or your weight, or really opportunities again are endless. If you're just a little bit creative, you can kind of come up with different ways to use these to make them functional for you. You can also just use full page stickers to cover these up. Planner Kate has a ton of full page stickers that if you don't need this page, go ahead and cover it up and use it for something that it will actually help you throughout the year. So we talked about this one already. This is the forward planning for the next year. I like to write down on here when my subscription is gonna, auto renew or something like that. I do a lot of annual subscriptions because you save money that way if you pay for like the year up front. But then, the challenge is remembering when those are gonna hit again. And that way you're not surprised with that $200 charge or something. So this is a good spot for that. Anytime throughout the year you're making your appointment, like your dentist appointment, the next cleaning is in 6 months. If it falls in the next year, go ahead and write it on these pages. And in that way, whenever you get your new planner for this year, you kind of have your cheat sheet ready to go with all of those dates for you to consult for setting up that planner. There's also some note space down here as well. And then each month has 3 lines for whatever. And there's like an open bullet point you can use it as a checklist or just, as a bullet point. Now back here, you're gonna have another art page. And like I said, sticky note dashboard, photos. You could even do another full page sticker here if you want to, if you needed that extra page. Use it however you need. You can even just use it as a notes page if you want. And then all of the life planners come with 4 sheets of stickers. And then we have our 2-sided pocket folder, which I love this thing. It's so helpful. I tend to just fold a normal size sheet of like printer paper. If you just fold it in half, it will fit perfectly in here. And then, like I said, we have the perpetual calendar. And in the back of this one, we have more spots here for contacts. And since this is meant to travel with you from planner to planner, this might be for some more of those like permanent things like your parents and the grandparents and maybe your electric company or internet company, water company, that kind of stuff. If your power goes out or if your internet goes out, you're not going to be able to just look up online what those phone numbers are. So this is a good spot to keep those. And then over here we have important passwords, and it's controversial about whether or not you want to add your passwords and write them down on a piece of paper. But I mean, that's totally up to you. If you want to do it, you can do it here. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to. And you can use this in a different way. You can just make it be another contacts list if you want. And then we have some more holidays and dates. And this one's kind of cool because it just tells you basically what month of the year certain holidays fall under. And if they fall on a specific date, that's already printed in here as well. So it's just another nice little cheat sheet to use. Okay, so that is basically the basics of using an Erin Condren LifePlanner to plan your week. Again, basically the standard way that I would suggest using it is to consult your year at a glance and your 12 boxes to figure out what's important that month. Go into the month and write everything down from those pages. Write the events and appointments on the calendar, write the tasks on the sidebar, and break out any important projects or goals onto the dashboard page. Make your notes here that are important to those things. And then each week when you sit down to plan, you're going to consult your month and your monthly dashboard, and you're going to add those things into your week where they fit. And then you'll consult your other stuff, your emails, your texts, anything your kids bring home from school. If there's an important event going on in your community, you're going to fill all that in as well as those things come up. And then you're always going to be on top of everything, and things are not going to fall through the cracks anymore. So this video was kind of long, but it was really just intended to show you the very basics of using your Erin Condren LifePlanner to help you stay organized and use it functionally to just simplify your life and your planning. I didn't get into very specific things. There's so many other things that you can track and plan in your planner. And I do that every week with you when I'm planning my real schedule and my real week with you. I will have a planner setup video where I'll set up, like I talked about in the earlier, you know, setting up the year at a glance and the 12 boxes and all of that kind of stuff, and those notes pages in the back. I will have a video where I set all that up, and then every month I have a video where I do the monthly plan based on those pages. And then every week I have a video where I'm planning my week based on my monthly plans. So that should help you get a little more familiar with how to use these planners to just kind of stay on top of your life and just stay organized and keep sane and not be overwhelmed with all of the things that need to get done. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you really liked it, please consider subscribing, because I post videos like this on my channel all the time, and I would love to see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.